So you're looking for a job and you're not sure if you should take an in-house video position or if you should start your own freelance filmmaking career. Today, I want to give you my take on it. Hi, in case you're new here, my name is Ben. I'm the founder, creative director of 24 Stills, a video production company that was founded in Austria, Vienna, now expanded to New York and is specialized into corporate content. And today I want to give you a bit context why I'm making this topic. So I was working for a couple of years as an in-house video person for a big tech company in Austria, in Germany. And I loved this job, but I also saw the limitations. And because I talked recently with another video producer of a big company about exactly that topic, I thought it's time to break it all down and to tell you what the pros are and also what the cons are on each side so that you can decide which path is the right one for you. And if you are a marketing, PR, comms person and if you think about hiring someone in-house, stay until the end and I tell you my advice, my strategy out of my experience, what's important to consider if you want to hire someone. If you are an in-house video producer, you're very likely working for a bigger company that you're sitting in a marketing department very likely, and you are responsible for all the video content, which is scripting, planning, shooting, editing, producing everything probably alone, maybe in a small team, and doing this all in-house. And the biggest pro on that is definitely that you are the expert in your field. Especially if you're the only video producer, you have all the knowledge and there are not other people that can interfere your work and that give you not so helpful advices maybe. It's also to say that if you work for a company, you have all the benefits an employee has. Especially in Austria, we used to have health insurance, of course. We used to have a stable paycheck. We have paid lunch, which was great. All these kind of benefits that you don't have as a freelancer or self-business owner. You don't have to worry so much about your gear because especially if the company has budget, you are able to buy gear, use their gear and don't have to spend immediately all your money for buying all your gear yourself. And if you are lucky and the company has even more budget, maybe you are able to educate yourself, attend different courses, maybe workshops, and to learn more skills about it while getting paid in your job. I think also a very important point is you have a so-called safe space to try out different things, because if you are an employee for a company, you can try out different video techniques and don't have to lose so much, because if it doesn't work out, you just do it again or you just move on to the next project. Whereas if you're a freelancer, it can easily be that you either lose the project, lose the client, or you have to do it all over again, which costs your money and your time. And last but not least, which I think is also very important, is the work environment. I think what many people underestimate is that if you have a small business, it can be very lonely, especially if you work remotely with most of the people. And having an office as an employee, having other colleagues that you can meet is definitely something you should consider whatever decisions you're going to make. So what are the downsides of being an in-house video producer? I think the coolest thing about filmmaking is that you are able in your job to meet different people, tell different stories and produce different products. And if you work for one company, there will be a point that you have met all the people, that you produced all kinds of videos for them, and then it starts getting boring, which I think is one of the biggest struggles when you do a creative job. Also, sometimes the roles start to overlap. Especially nowadays, it's not only that people have to produce videos, it's more likely that you also should be responsible for posting this content, for pushing this content. So kind of a hybrid model between a video producer and a social media person, which I think is important to say is a different job. And maybe you don't want to do this, but if you take a job like this, it can be that you are kind of forced to do it all because the company wants to save money and you have to be fine with that and go with that, which can be definitely a downside. I think it's possible that you get stuck in comfort and you receive your paycheck every month and you are happy, but also you are limited in the ways how you are able to grow as a filmmaker. And as a freelance filmmaker, you have your own business. You have different clients, hopefully. You work with different people, you work with different projects, you meet new people. And you have to take care of everything from marketing, finding client, doing all the organization, planning all the projects, hiring people, filming, editing, dealing with annoying clients. You have to do everything. The good side is that you can potentially earn a lot more money compared to an in-house position, but you also need to want to do this because by the end of the day, you are your own boss. I personally think an in-house video job is the perfect job to grow. Maybe if you start out doing video, it's very good. Maybe if you're new and you want to build a network, it can also be very helpful to start in a company. And I think if you go for it, it's very important that you set your own limitations and that you know, first of all, the money that you are worth, but also that you know what your goals are and knowing before you start when you want to move on. And my take for marketing people would be, give them enough money and give them room to grow. I recently talked with a friend of mine here who is head of production for a big running company, and he told me the same, that HR is allowing him to hire a person, but they only give him very little money for doing so. And I said to him immediately, if you don't give people enough money and not so much freedom, they will find a person who is doing this job, but after 6 months, after 8 months, this person has learned enough, this person will very likely move on, doing their own thing. And that's being said, from a company's perspective, it costs a company way more money to do all the hiring process again. That's why pay your people decent, allow them to grow, and then people will stay. I personally stayed in my old company for much longer than expected, most likely because of the colleagues that I had. That's it, that's my take about in-house versus freelancer. I would love to hear your opinion about it. What do you think about it? Would you add something to my points? Would you disagree with me? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. And I see you hopefully in the next one.